What's up, YouTube? So before Jess does her next budget report card in a couple days before that comes out, I want to go over something. If you've been following us at all and you happen to see her go through the report card and you just see, RJ puts in, $90 every 2 weeks, just kind of want to say that that's not all that I bring in. I'm not quite a starving artist or anything like that. I do photography, but I do have a full-time job which brings in more money than that. The amount you see in her account is actually 10% of that paycheck every 2 weeks, and I did that to kind of help out with anything that she needs help with as far as student loans, whatever she has, try to put extra money towards that and bring down that debt so we can eventually get to where we're going, which is debt free. Just recently, probably beginning of the year, we joined our accounts. So the one account you see all her budgeting from, that $90 goes in that account. It's technically a joint account. I don't touch it other than the direct deposit that goes into her account for the $90 every 2 weeks. A reason around that, it's kind of hard to really explain in some ways. It's kind of like we've always been each of us kind of been independent in some of our ways. Like I said, we've been married over 5 years now, and we just recently did a joint account. We've always kept our finances separate. It's just something we did. So it's kind of tough for whatever reason, mentally, I guess it's just tough for me to go that next step and put everything under one budget. But it's not like I'm out spending tons of money on anything. This is what my bank account shows right now. As you can see, I have $2,000 in my checking account, which $1,000 I keep as a zero line. So essentially I just view that as there's $1,000 in there for gas, which I don't work very far from home, and any of the other bills that I take care of. As you see on her budget report, her main bill is the mortgage for the house that we're in. I pay the power. We don't have cable anymore, so it's internet, and I pay for like the Hulu and Netflix. And then my big expense right now, technically for both of us, is having the roof fixed on the house that we live in. So I took out a loan for that. So that's my major debt right now. Like I said, not out spending a ton of money. I'm pretty well, thanks to Jess, budget minded. I don't like to spend a lot of money. I don't have a fancy new car. I have 2 cars, both are paid off. One's an '88 Jeep Cherokee, and then an '03 Toyota Camry. All fully paid, there's no debt on those. So like I said, I don't have no car payments, just insurance there. I'm pretty, like I said, thanks to Jess, very budget minded when it comes to spending money. We sit down and we make that grocery list every week, and we know where we want to put it. A little more lenient when we're at the store and say, okay, maybe we need to spend a little more money here on something, but we generally keep it under budget. Whereas Jess, she's more, keep it in line, keep it how, we want it to be within the grocery list and stuff like that. We have discussed a couple times about me, being fully under the same budget and working on a total family budget. And like we've discussed, we would leave room for certain things, like I said, to do photography. Pretty much everything I make off the photography, I invest back into it. So there's never really any extra income at this point with it. I'm always doing something with it, whether buying new lens, or stuff for the studio, or even making trips. Recently I went to Atlantic City to photograph a Red Bull rally race down there. That's an expense. Wasn't something I got paid to do. It was an experience. It was a great experience. Met a lot of great people down there. Had a lot of fun. I do a lot of that stuff locally with shooting local bands. I support that local scene quite a bit. Not necessarily financially, I don't mean support it that way. Just getting out there and being at those shows with those guys, supporting them, taking the pictures. Several of those bands have then contacted me, and I've done photo shoots for the band. So it helps a little bit there to offset some of those costs of just driving to places and going to concerts. I don't, again, not blowing money on anything else other than what I want to do eventually, which is the photography. So I do put a lot out, money and time. Time I don't have a lot of with my day job. So when I'm working 50 plus hours a week at my day job, it's hard to squeeze in those extra things, but I try to keep that going, because that's really where I want to be, is just, making a living off the photography in some form or another. I don't go to the store usually and buy a whole bunch of random things. It's hard, as you've seen in some of Jess's videos, we are a minimalistic household. We've gotten rid of a whole bunch of stuff. If something comes into the house, you'll notice, it's very obvious. So I don't buy a lot of things to bring in. All that stuff really is just materialistic. We've got that mindset down pretty well. So like I said, I'm not trying to hide my finances from anyone. We're trying to, I made this video to be kind of transparent, so you see, if anyone's sitting there scratching their head like, who's this RJ guy and why is he only put $90 into the budget every 2 weeks. So that's why I put my bank account on the screen, so you guys can see that. I would like, like I said, just kind of like a mental thing for me to actually fully commit to the full budget. It took almost 5 full years of being married to be fully committed to a joint bank account. We just always kept it separate. So we'll get there. Maybe something I'll try to shoot for, make a small goal here. Maybe the first of the year I'll try to, once we'll start budgeting the first, so when she makes her January budget video, maybe you'll see my income in there and it'll be a little bit different, so you guys can see everything as a whole. So hopefully that helped out with anyone that's kind of been scratching their head. I'm sorry for the ramblings, but we'll catch you guys later. Thanks.